From my rich dad, I learned financial intelligence that taught me to detect lies and not be fooled about how to really achieve that lasting wealth dreamed of by all. I don't know about you, but I know what it's like to be broke and desperate. Now, I have been able to achieve happiness, comfort, and most importantly, financial freedom. I was able to achieve all of this because I discovered in time that there are 8 lies about money that the big elites, corrupt governments, bribed schools, and dishonest bankers led us believe to keep most people in poverty. Lie about money number 1. Job security is important. You need a job when you're young. My poor dad told me that he needed to go to school to get a good job. For him, having a good job was the most important thing in life. My poor dad worked hard at every job he had, but never got anywhere. His job was one of the things that kept him from succeeding. On the other hand, my rich dad never had a real job and was rich and successful. He understood that the idea of getting a job was a lie about money. Instead of getting a job, he created them. Instead of working for someone, he worked for himself. Instead of paying high taxes, he used the tax system to get rich. My poor dad, like most people, was conditioned and taught to be an employee from the day he was born. My rich dad moved away from that thinking and became an entrepreneur. He put his money to work and was on the side of the rich. Lie about money number 2. The secret to success is hard work. My poor dad worked hard his whole life. He went to school because he was told to. He got a job because he was taught that was what he was supposed to do. He worked hard because it was expected of him. Still, he struggled financially his entire life, and that often made him unhappy. My rich dad used to say, instead of working hard, work smart. Working like this isn't just about getting others to work for you. It's also about making them want to work hard for your benefit. It's also about making money work for you, not the other way around. Instead of working hard for money, you should be working smart, making money work for you. That's what rich people do. Lie about money number 3. All debt is bad. Rich people have debt. They usually have a lot of it, but they have assets that cover those impressive loans. In fact, the rich not only have debts, but use them to get richer. The difference between rich and poor in relation to debt is understanding the difference between the reasons behind it. There are 2 types of debt, bad debt and good debt. Bad debt is what makes you poorer, like credit cards and car loans, among others. This is the type of loan used to buy liabilities. Good debt is what makes you richer, such as loans for real estate investments or to buy equipment for your business that will bring returns. This is the type of loan used to buy assets. Lie about money number 4. The government will take care of you when you retire. People love to believe this lie. They think that because a country has a lot of money in its coffers, it will take care of them because they have contributed to its retirement fund and social security. They are terribly wrong. Don't believe this lie about money. The government can't take care of you. Only you can do that. Lie about money number 5. Money is not that important. It is true that money is not everything, but it is undeniably important. The old saying goes that money doesn't buy happiness, but scientifically that's wrong. One study measured happiness in several different ways, including subjective responses, mental health, and individual economic behavior. The result is clear. Money brings peace of mind to your home and makes you happier. Lie about money number 6. Money is the root of all evil. The idea that money is not important comes from the belief in its malicious existence. Unfortunately, those who don't have money are the ones who seem to say that. Tragically, my poor dad wasn't a very happy man in his final days. It's not that money could have fixed everything, but I'm pretty sure that if he was better off financially, he would also be happier. My rich dad, my best friend's dad, had a different view of money. He thought it was silly to spend your whole life working for money and pretending that money wasn't important. Rich dad believed that life was more important than money, but that money was important to sustain life. Lie about money number 7. Rich people are stingy. Once again, those who don't have money love to point to the rich as the cause of their problems. With that comes anger and negative labels. Although wealth can breed corruption, let me repeat, money is just a tool. Wealth can be achieved by working and investing intelligently. Lie about money number 8. Higher education is always the answer. When I was young, my poor dad always told me that the best way to success was to go to school. I believed it was the best way to get a good job. The problem was that my poor dad was one of the most educated people I knew, but he always complained about money and how unhappy he was with his job. On the other hand, my rich dad didn't have any degrees, but he was still very rich and successful. Rich dad used to say, school teaches you to be an employee. If you want to be rich, don't count on school. This does not mean that education is not important. The basic education you get in compulsory education is important for everything that comes after. And if you want to be a teacher, a lawyer, or a doctor, then obviously you will need to go to university. But you won't learn how money works at school. Education, especially in Latin America, does not teach students to live or be self-sufficient. It doesn't teach us to be our own bosses, it makes us workers instead of innovators. Don't believe what we've been told since we were kids, that God likes people to be poor. Many of those who are rich today had little or nothing to eat at some point in their lives, and that was the turning point for what they have achieved today. Notice, as you think, your mind will be alert to solve such a problem, and at that moment you come into conflict with everything you were programmed with. The best way for those who don't want you to be rich to return you to the path of poverty is by causing you fear and calming your hunger. And that's where the news and recommendations that it's necessary and vital to look for a safe job come in. The educational system is designed to teach you to be an employee, a doctor, a lawyer, or a specialist, but they will never teach you about money. The educational system is designed so that, as far as possible, you remain in the middle class or in poverty. I have met many people who say, I can't afford this. Do you think I'm made of money? In fact, my father, with a doctorate obtained with great sacrifice, used to say in the face of any request, who do you think I am? I can't afford this. I don't earn that much money to buy this or that. And therefore, his words became reality. On the other hand, my rich dad, instead of saying, I can't afford this, would say, how can I afford it? How can I do this? Pay close attention. Poverty will always be among those who declare poverty, because that's where it starts. Words become reality. A question opens the mind, a statement closes it. So when you say, I can't afford this, the mind closes and you become what you say. Einstein said, imagination is more important than knowledge, but knowledge empowers imagination. If you think about it, poor people are selfish, always complaining about their problems, always focused on their own problems. No one can or should dare to contradict their excuses and the supposed reasons why they are not successful. And while they are focused on themselves, they forget about others. On the other hand, the way the rich get rich is by ceasing to be selfish and solving other people's problems. This is how value is created. An example is, if you care about the cancer that affects thousands of people, and if you could cure that cancer today, you would be a billionaire. Unlike any venture or business where money is important, investing in yourself is not just about money. It's about acquiring knowledge. It's about forming habits and strategies that will improve your quality of life. So, following this line, there are 4 points to get out of the selfishness of poverty and embark on the fascinating world of personal and financial success. 1. Program yourself by visualizing success. If you've ever played sports as a kid, you've probably been asked to imagine yourself lifting the trophy or winning. The reason everyone has heard this at some point is because the power of vision is strong and effective. Successful entrepreneurs spend time imagining, creating, and exploring in their minds. Thanks to this practice, this is how entrepreneurs become innovators. Using your imagination is a powerful asset that only you have access to. There is no limit to your creativity or ability to create abundance with a solid vision for success. 2. Start the day early. This doesn't mean you need to wake up at 3 a.m. with a cup of coffee in hand. If you normally wake up and get out of bed at 8 a.m., try getting up at 7 a.m. Successful entrepreneurs are early risers. Start your day by visualizing your success, what you want to achieve. Visualize what your goals are. Visualize yourself. You could start your day by doing some exercise to increase blood flow and wake up your mind. Starting the day allows you to gather your thoughts, set your priorities, and organize yourself in a way that will make you successful. 3. Keep life simple. You may think that rich people are born with super complicated lives that make them so effective. That's wrong. In fact, simplicity attracts the rich and successful. Creating simple routines helps avoid the mistake of overloading yourself. If every successful person tried to take on every challenge and exceed their capabilities, they would feel so stressed and unable to accomplish anything. Successful people know that by creating limits, they become more efficient and effective. 4. Keep curiosity alive. Boredom can be a success killer. Successful people recognize this and make sure they are always busy. That's why you hear about the rich working 24/7, 365 days a year, because they want to. They're happy doing something they love to do. I encourage you to adopt one or all of these 4 points and make them part of your daily routine if you want to become a successful and wealth-creating person. The rich use strategies that allow them to influence their investments, their money, and their lives in general. They know that their way of thinking about money and life contributes more to economic well-being than anything else. Thoughts drive actions, and actions drive results. So, while watching this video, keep in mind that if you are working to get rich but maintain a poor or middle-class mindset, it's like trying to run a marathon while dragging a block of iron chained to your waist. You can do this, but it will take longer and be more difficult than simply getting rid of the dead weight. Start by visualizing yourself on the right side of the cash flow quadrant. Understanding the cash flow quadrant and how each quadrant works is the fundamental strategy of your plan to get rich. If you're not yet familiar with this powerful technique, Monica, the cash flow quadrant classifies people according to the type of source of their income. Those who manage to create and maintain wealth are on the right side of the quadrant. These people are investors and business owners who think differently than those on the left side of the quadrant, employees and the self-employed. Regardless of which quadrant you're currently in, getting rich starts with a commitment to taking the steps necessary to move forward and stay on the right side of the quadrant. Changing quadrants, depending on the source of your income, takes time, but you can change the way you think about money today. People on the right side of the quadrant think differently about gold, investments, risk, and security. For example, left quadrant thinking is go to school and get a job, while right quadrant thinking is get financially educated, start a business, and create income. Eliminate "I can't" from your vocabulary. If getting rich were easy, then everyone would. However, people make it harder than it really should be, and most do it without even realizing it. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right." The main reason people in the E, employee, and S, self-employed quadrants remain in their respective quadrants is because they cling to the phrase, "I can't." This phrase and its variants, such as, "It's too risky," "It won't work here," and "I don't know how to do this," are all excuses people use to avoid taking responsibility for their future financial and, in fact, their lives. The real problem stems from the fact that most people don't realize that they quickly underestimate their own attitudes. The reality is that you can. You can do anything through education, trial and error, training, and hard work, which never goes out of style. You can achieve your financial dreams, but if you don't even think it's within the realm of possibility, then as Henry Ford said, you're right. When you eliminate "I can't" from your vocabulary, something amazing happens. You will start to think outside your mental limits and start to think more creatively. Become a problem solver. Successful investors and entrepreneurs don't sell a product or service, they sell a solution. In fact, some of the most important entrepreneurs have sold solutions to people who didn't even know they had problems. Successful investors and entrepreneurs are problem solvers. Problem solvers look beyond obstacles and barriers and see solutions and opportunities. Think creatively and visualize something better when most only see reality. Look for a problem in your environment right now, and what solution could you offer? Maybe there you will find a potential way to get rich. Do something. Take action right now. Finally, having a predisposition to action is one of the main strategies and attitudes of the rich. Acting just for the sake of acting is not necessary, but the sooner you can expand what you are learning, the faster you can internalize. Some people don't act immediately because they are not aware of everything. They fool themselves into thinking that if they had a little more information, they would be ready to move on. They don't realize that every investment will always bring unknowns. The rich man understands that sometimes the unknown leads to mistakes. However, while these mistakes are sometimes costly, the lessons learned from them can be invaluable. They know that by acting and doing something, they are helping to understand how to better undertake and invest than any book or seminar. To end this video, remember our commitment. Comment, share, and create. Comment, giving your opinion, idea, or contributing to the community in the comments below the video. We always read and have fun with the testimonies of the changes we are causing in many people. Share, help us to make more people aware of these concepts. Share the content with your friends, acquaintances, and on your social networks. And create. Use what you have learned to create something magnificent for your life, for your success and financial wealth. Until the next video.